got here? Yeah, there it is. Oh, one is waiting. YouTube. Let me start running our commercial over here so that. Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot-Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on that shoulder.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes.
Okay.
He said he caught me though.
You get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey?
I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Don't ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they said? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can.
Yeah!
Yeah. Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
Man, I don't even know. Yeah.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations.
That's legendary. That's legendary.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resource. I heard my man Stacking Smith. I'm fresh off vacation, though. I feel amazing, bro. How you feeling today, Smith?
Bro, I am good, bro. I'm doing better than good. Les Brown told me to say, I'm doing better than good, better than most or something.
So he get it right next week.
I'm doing good, basically. Man, but, hey, you guys, man, we got major person on the show today. Absolutely. Man. And I'm like so thankful. For everybody that's watching and that will watch this, please go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, ring the bell notification so you can get alerted every time we drop new content. Man, our catalog is growing by the day, man, and Absolutely. We are bringing on people that you definitely want to see. It's the Legendary People Podcast on YouTube, man. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching this at, make sure that you go and like and subscribe, ring the bell notification. We real close to getting that big old bag of 1,000 subscribers. We like right there. I think we had like maybe 980 peanuts. We knocking on the door for sure. So go ahead and do that for us, man. We want to take a moment to say what's up to our sponsors, man. Starting off with Sheiks for Breakfast, man. They got the best breakfast in the city, man. Absolutely. Of course, you know they got that good old French toast platter that's amazing. So, man, make sure that you go and check out Sheiks for Breakfast. Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. Mm-hmm. Jerk chicken bowls, Caribbean flavor with the cocoa bread and good old brown sugar lemonade. You know what I mean? It's the best thing you ever had in your life, man. That's Agnes. Michael Wright, attorney Michael Wright. If you're ever injured for any reason, pull that neck brace out the back seat that we all ride around with. You feel me? You know what time it is. Throw that thing on and go straight to the hospital and call Michael Wright at 937-222-7477. Make the right choice with Michael Wright. And I did go to Gym City Market, man.
Yes.
Me and Amaha Selassie are cool now.
It looked like I was jealous from Vegas. Yeah, make me jealous in Dayton from Vegas.
Me and Amaha are brothers, bro.
Yeah.
And so I went to Gym City Market and I seen a beautiful place for Kiara Wine inside the market, man. I'm going to link them up, man.
Perfect.
Kiara Wine is a sponsor, bro. And Gym City Market is coming on in, bro.
Yes.
They coming in as a sponsor. But Kiara Wine, contact Antoine Cunningham, man, on Facebook to get you some good old Kiara wine. And last but not least, man, we want to shout out the baby Amazon, which is theshoparea.com. They got just about everything you need. So let's do this. Let's do this. The shoparea.com is right here from our city. If you're going to buy something online, go to the shoparea.com first. Get in that search menu bar and see if they got what you want. And then if they don't have it, buy it somewhere else. But man, the shoparea.com is the first place that you want to check out with anything. So if you're going to go to Amazon, check with the shopareafirst.com to see what they got, man. Great sister. She support the show. She watched. She even tells us when our mic levels are low and everything. So she down there work with us. Man. You feel me?
Executive producing.
Hey, she's not an
Not executive. Wait.
producer. She's he's doing on mine. That's my job. You feel me? All right, you guys.
Yeah.
Look, man. T-shirtkings247.com. Go for your mouth, man. Camera King Studios and Dash Resources, man. We all in the building, bro. We all are one. We're sharing this interdependence that my bro Amaya Selassie taught me about.
Yeah.
All right, Peanut.
Yeah.
It's on you, bro. What you gonna do?
So listen, man. I know every single episode I say there's no legend higher than this person, but I promise you, what have I lied to y'all? I have never lied to y'all. This guest is one of the most legendary guests we've had on this podcast. Like, I feel like we should have red carpet on the entry after this interview, okay?
Yeah.
We have Desiree Timms, the Ohio's 10th Congressional District. Dominique, how are you doing, Desiree?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, my God. So here on the Legendary People podcast, we like to find out where our legends come from. So we call origins. So without further ado, where'd you grow up?
I am from West Dayton. I spent the majority of my life it is Dayton proper, but to most people coming up Lipscomb, they probably will think it's Jefferson Township, but it is not. It is Dayton.
I'm about to say JT.
Yeah. But I will claim JT as well. Okay. But no, grew up just behind what used to be the YMCA.
Oh, yeah. And that's funny because I saw a picture of you there when you was swimming as a toddler.
How did you see that picture?
I do my research. That's my job. So yeah,
I'm shook. I'm scared.
You scared already?
Got a picture of you swimming as a toddler, right?
So like your dad taught you how to swim as a toddler, right? So is that?
That's right.
Yeah. So shout out to Papa Love. Papa Love. The first time we gave Papa Love on the show,
shout
we
out to
say
Pops,
Papa Love.
man.
Shout out to Pops. So besides swimming, what other things were you into at an early age?
Yeah, I was in drill team. Shout out to Silver Express and Miss Monique. And everybody else who was part of the Silver Express movement. Drill team was real big back in the day and really loved parades and participating in that. And I was also one of the participants in what used to be NYSP, which if you know, then you know, it's the sports camp that used to happen at UD every summer growing up, which also is no longer here. Right. And just hanging out at the rec centers like Princeton, which now it's gentrified into the Northwest Center, but we still call it Princeton. Yeah. So that's where I spend most of my time growing up, is really just staying engaged and involved in different activities so that I wouldn't sit at home bored.
Right. So who were some of your early childhood friends? Your day one.
Ooh, my day ones. So I'm still cool with a lot of these girls today. Shout out to the Cheerios, the cheerleaders from Dunbar High School. We are also very good friends. So India, Tiara, Ashley, Nay, Shakari. Shout out to everybody from Dunbar, class of 2006. I think we were one of the best classes to come out of Dunbar, and our class is still very close. So a lot of greats came out of class of 06, and I will claim that, and I'm willing to die on that hill.
I mean, because normally like we celebrate Meadowdale legends here all the time, so you can have your Dunbar day today.
You know what though, bro? Dunbar is probably our next closest clique that comes through, because we done had a lot of. We had Daquan Cook come through. Yeah. Coach Powell came through. So, you know, I see it like a little bit of Dunbar resistance, man. Yeah. Desiree, my daughter, not the daughter that did an interview with you, but my daughter is the captain of the cheerleading team right now, man. At Dunbar.
Wow.
So you guys,
He's
it's
destined for great things.
yeah, man. You guys are like a fraternity together, or sorority.
That's right.
Sorority.
That's right.
You guys are in a sorority now.
So
All
before
right.
we get to your Dunbar glory days, what elementary school did you go to?
I went to Cornell Heights Elementary, which is also no longer standing. A lot of my childhood has been knocked down in Dayton, but yeah, I went to Cornell Heights for elementary and then Kaiser for middle school.
I went to Kaiser for middle school.
Nice.
Oh, you did?
Wait a minute, you graduated in 2005?
6.
6?
6.
I graduated in 2004. Maybe we went to school
So
together. Maybe we went to school
we may
together.
have just missed each other.
I don't know.
At Cornell, you guys might have been there.
Well,
Like
I
when
didn't go
she
to Cornell. I
was
went to
in
McNary, which my school got knocked down
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we probably just missed each other.
Yeah. So
That's
okay.
a good thing for you, Desiree.
It definitely is a good thing for you. I'm just kidding. Let's get it. So like during those early stages, what are something that you could see were influences that built upon the person that you are today?
Yeah. So growing up, I was not. So when I meet a lot of young people, or particularly people in college or people who want to get involved in politics, you know, a lot of the times they think I was in like college Dems or president of this or student government. And I didn't do any of those things. I love sports. I love going skating with my friends in high school. And really
At the legendary Roller Dome?
The Roller Dome, yes. The Roller Dome, Skate World, and everything else that used to be there. Hoover skating.
Yeah.
On Sundays.
Yeah.
So I really did things like that. But in the house, my grandmother, my mom, my dad, the news was always on. Politics was always something that was discussed in the house. And so it really is about, the saying is true about how you shape and mold your children and what you teach and train them, even though they may not receive it in that moment. Later in life, it does come back to really shape to who they become and who we all are. And so growing up, that was always on TV. I always knew voting was important. And I understood the sacrifices and the struggle that my ancestors and my people fought for to get to where we are today. It just so happened that in college, when we had the recession, we were in a war, gas prices were going through the roof. And I was like, whoa. $5 is not filling the tank up anymore. What's going on? I was told that if I just go to school, I could get a job. I'm seeing people graduate from college and they're still working at the Dayton Mall or they're at Fairfield Commons. So what's going on with society that things are not working for people who come from my community and people who look like me? And as many of us remember, seeing all the layoffs that happened at General Motors and the impact it had on Dayton, and seeing my friends' homes get boarded up, cars repossessed. And so the way Dayton used to be, and I know a lot of young people here, we talk about the glory days, the way our community used to thrive, I saw it sort of crippling before my eyes. And I wondered, to quote Marvin Gaye, what's going on?
Right. That's a bar, Smed. Yeah. That's a bar.
I knew that was coming.
But back to you going from Dunbar to Xavier University, throw the X up, right? What was that transition like for you coming from, living in, like a pretty good neighborhood to the transition from high school into college?
Yeah, it was rough. It was not easy. I think I had decent grades in high school, and many of us were plucked out and put into these like core honors groups classes, and we all had the same classes with the same 10 to 15 people throughout high school. But when I got to college, I learned just how unprepared I was. Thinking about textbooks we had in high school where we would see like our parents' names signed in the front of the book. You know how you sign the book with your class year? And you see like 1988, 1987. You be like, oh, I got this. Is this your dad? I have his textbook. And, back then it was kind of cool. But when you get to college, it's like, wait, we had books that were like 30 years old.
that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I met some of my classmates who were often white, came from more privileged backgrounds in different school districts, the material that I saw in college, they saw in high school. And so I spent a lot of time in the library. And so I still partied. I made my way to the parties, but I was late because I was in the library trying to make sure I could stay.
Yeah. One of your notable events was the 10 Friends Labor Day event. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so you really did your research, I see.
No matter who comes on the show, everybody says that same thing, right?
So yeah, 10 Friends is a group that used to exist in DC. It's a bunch of guys from Cleveland, actually. So basically, when I went to DC, a lot of the Ohio people, we all found each other and stuck together. It just so happened that majority of those people were from the Cleveland and Columbus area. And we would often get together and put together events where we could all have a good time and celebrate life and our achievement, but also network and make sure that we're providing each other with different opportunities, whether it's you're looking for another job, you're trying to get a promotion, or you need some advice. It's an opportunity for all of us to connect and have a good time.
Right. To me, I feel like that was actually genius. I mean, because, like, for instance, like, we have things here that, you know, like, for instance, I mean, we have a club night for everybody. Then we have the, you know, the sophisticated lifestyle, right? And I'm thinking, like, where do, like, the distinguished meet? And then, it's a 10 Friends Labor Day event, obviously. I need an invite next time. I promise you I'll be respectful. Another one. So, anyway, in 2014, I saw you was in Washington, D.C., with the Labor of Congress. It was called a Brooke Reveals Society. Is this an offshoot from those same networking opportunities as well?
No. So you took it way back. Shout out to the Brooke Revel Society. So on Capitol Hill, where I worked for Senator Sherrod and Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, in the U.S. Senate, as many of you know, there are 100 U.S. senators. Every state gets 2 senators. Mm-hmm. And in that, it's the upper chamber in Congress. Unfortunately, though, there are not enough Black staffers. There are not enough people of color in those halls. And it is the staffers often who are sitting at the table writing the bills. Right. And so when you talk about there's no Kroger on our side of town, or the Kroger that we have, the produce is rotten, or we don't have adequate transportation, or at 6 o'clock, we can smell the dump outside. Mm-hmm. When you have people sitting at the table who are from other communities who don't understand that, they have grocery stores on every other corner, including like a Whole Foods. How is that person able to relate to you when you come into the office and you ask the person who represents you for help? Right. Are they really going to understand it? Or are they just going to empathize with you? Right. And so that is what's happening and has happened for decades and years, generations in Congress. The staffers don't look like America. And so a group of us, Black staffers, came together, and then the men created the Brooke Revel Society. We had African-American women on the Hill. Anyway, we would all come together gang. And eat lunch, you know, make sure we review each other's resumes, help each other get job interviews, make sure we're networked and connected, and also push the issues and to advocate for more diversity, to make sure in these places and spaces that people like us are heard, that we're not just scooping the mashed potatoes on your plate in the lunchroom, but that we're also drafting and writing the laws that are going to help our community and people who look like us. So that was the goal of that, is to really raise awareness and also create a safe space. You know, I think in any workplace, like the 5 Black people always find each other to go eat lunch together, and complain and commiserate, you know, and it's necessary to survive, right? In some of these spaces that are meant for us. Right.
And one thing that y'all complained about a lot was that that like Hill staffers don't really get paid that well. I heard you say that before.
Another hill I am willing to die on. You know, it was so funny because so many people from Dayton would come and I would help them get White House tours during the Obama administration. And like everybody would just, hey, I'm coming in DC. Can you give me a tour? You know, I'm always helping people. But I think some people were like, man, Scandal was on TV at this time. So they're like, you're like Olivia Pope and you're balling and you're making all this money. And I'm like, girl, I'm trying to make change. And in the meantime, I am stuck eating beans and rice.
Right.
In order to stay in this place, because a lot of people who are here, yeah, they all make the same amount, but they come from wealth. And so this is their play money and this is my rent money.
Right. Ooh,
and so it's just very different for certain people in those spaces, and you stay because you care.
Right.
How did you apply to start working on Capitol Hill? I mean, you wanted to get into politics, and so you went directly to the source. Like, how does somebody who's interested in politics go to actually start working in a prominent job like that? So it seems like it is.
Yeah, so this is where I take everybody to church, and we get into my testimony. So when I graduated from Xavier, I was working for Wells Fargo, and the recession came, and the banks collapsed, and I was laid off. And I was panicking, like, I need to find a job up and down 75, Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus, like you name it. I applied for pretty much every job. And my grandmother said, I was watching MSNBC. I was like, oh, Lord, here we go. And she goes, and Barack Obama said he has jobs. And I was sitting there crying because I'm frustrated. I'm applying for jobs, and I'm really not trying to hear what she has to say right now, because we just need to pray for a big girl job because I have bills. And I went to the White House website and I saw a White House internship program, and they were, you know, hiring for that. And so I applied basically to make her be quiet.
Yeah.
So we could get back to the game plan.
Yeah.
And then months later, Wells Fargo hired me back and relocated me to the DC suburbs. I'm working for the bank, and the White House called.
Wow.
So, all right, walk us through that day. The White House calls, and now what? What happens?
They called while I was at work.
They
I
always
thought it
do,
was
right?
my friend.
They never call you. They literally ask you for your office hours, and then call you when you say you're not available.
They called me when I was at work, and I thought it was my friends from Xavier playing a game on me, because everyone knew I had moved to the DC area. I had volunteered on the Obama campaign in college, and so I hung the phone up because I thought it was a joke.
What?
And I did. And thank God they called back.
You hung up on the White House call.
Hold on.
That's legendary.
You thought somebody was playing with you, Desiree?
Yeah. And we are live, but I will say, I said, you know, I thought the person was a friend from college, and I said, stop effing with me and pulling my leg, and I hung up. And then they called back, and they were laughing. They laughed. They called back, and they were laughing, and they were like, no. This is really the White House. You applied for X, Y, and Z. And I was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, oh my God. In that moment, I remember my grandmother nagging me, and I realized I did apply. And so I took a leap of faith, quit my job, and went to pursue it full time. And when I got off the metro stop, I was asking strangers, like, which way is the White House? Where do I go? I don't know.
Yeah.
And just, I've been in it ever since.
All right.
Wow.
So you get to the White House, and so you report to the White House for this job, or what's the protocol for actually like starting to work at the White House?
Yeah. I mean, you got to go through FBI background check, and then you get in and you work, and it is about the work, and everybody there serves at the pleasure of the president, and we're all there to accomplish one thing, and that's to make sure we're moving our country forward. And that's the beauty of being there, is everyone is there to serve, and everyone is excited. And you know, it's the first Black president, it's the first term, and I'm just walking the halls listening for people who say pop, Because if they say pop, then I know they're from the Midwest.
Yeah.
And if they say soda, they're not. But anytime I heard someone say pop, I would go like, "Are you from Ohio? Are you from Chicago? Let's
Right.
talk."
That's a good observation right there.
Yeah, so I did that, and I learned more, and I became exposed to Black attorneys, and that's what inspired me to go to law school. But it was really just reaching out to people saying, "What's your story?"
Right.
Having coffee meetings with them, asking them to just map out their journey for me, as I was still trying to figure out my own journey, and I'm still figuring out my own journey. But it helps to reach out to people who've done it.
Right. So, how hands-on were the Obamas when you were selected? Were they like handpicked you, or was it more or less of a decision passed down from them?
What? Obama called me himself. No, I'm joking. No, I wish. No, it is it is a big team. It is a big staff. And you get to see them, and you get to see all kind of celebrities. I think my classmate was holding Kerry Washington's purse, and I saw Stevie Wonder, and I mean, you see all these people, John Legend, they're walking through.
But he see you though, cause
you know what?
No,
oh my God!
No, wait.
Cancel.
There's a rumor. There's a rumor. No, wait. It's a rumor that he's not black. No. Forget this. I'm not. No. I seen him catch a microphone stand when it fell over. I seen it. Whatever. Google it.
You guys, this will be the last show that we'll ever be on because, bro, they coming for us, bro.
They not gonna come for us over that. Shout out to Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yeah. I was about to try to play it like you weren't talking about Stevie. I was gonna say, oh, you was talking about Obama, but now you admitted you was talking about Stevie now.
So I'm sorry, Desiree. I'm sorry. So anyway, so it wasn't really a hands-on thing like that.
Stevie
But
Wonder is blind. Yeah. Let me correct the record. Stevie Wonder is blind.
Yes, legally blind.
Genius.
Legally blind, right?
Yes,
so,
but no, you get to work in this space, and it's just the celebrity you don't care. Like
Right.
It doesn't faze me.
Right.
It's just good to see that these people are supporting the mission and the cause, and they care about moving our country and different communities forward. I think what a lot of people fail to realize is a lot of these celebrities, right, that you see, they come from backgrounds just like ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they care about the things we care about. It's just really hard for them sometimes to go in spaces where they get to say those things because people are like, Mary J. Blige was on the trail, right? And they're like, Are you going to sing? And she's like, I'm not here to sing. I'm here to advocate for change.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so it's very important that we allow people to be full beings and be more than just the one lens that we see them in, outside of holding a microphone or with a camera in their face. So
Yeah.
With Barack Obama being Barack Obama is the president,
The most
but he's
polarizing
also like a real rock star as far as popularity is concerned, right? I mean, Barack Obama meant so many things to so many people.
Mm-hmm.
He was bigger than a president.
Yes.
I mean, all the things that he stood for, and just he was just like he's the man, right? Mm-hmm. Did they protect Barack Obama from even the staff because of how popular he was, or did you guys get a chance to ever meet Barack Obama?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We were able to meet both Michelle Obama and Barack Obama and have conversations and ask questions. And I think they did a really good job of developing staff and making sure that, President Obama endorsed my candidacy for Congress. He also has a lot of people who work for him who are in Congress or who are doing really big things because they believed in passing the torch and passing the baton and really growing people and making sure, everybody eats, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that is what you see is what you get. You can't say that. I can't say that for everyone, but I can say for the people I've worked for and the people that I've had the pleasure of working with, I can say what you see on TV, what you see on camera is what you get behind the scenes. And for me, it's meeting those people behind the scenes and seeing what they do when the cameras are off that is more important.
Right.
So now that we find out you did meet Obama.
Yeah.
And you know Barack Obama. Were you also like, because me, not only is Barack Obama the president, I think that we all kind of like fans of Barack Obama for real. So you being a sister and actually getting a chance to not only meet Obama, but work with Obama, and finally getting a chance to, I'm going to the White House. Oh, damn, there go Obama. I'm about to meet Obama. Can you walk us through the day that you actually met Obama? Mm-hmm. And how was it?
It's actually an embarrassing story.
Yeah.
So I'll tell this story. So we are taking our class picture for my internship cohort at the White House, and I am standing next to Obama. If you were able to dig up that picture,
yes, I found
and
it.
anyway, he I'm sure you did. Wow. And you know, he's talking to me and he's like, how are you doing? Like, how's your day? And I don't know what we were doing the night before, but I was exhausted. And I was like, you know, I woke up, I'm just so tired. And he looked at me with his hand on my shoulder, and I was like, I cannot believe I just said that to the president of the United States. I was like, I am so sorry. I am so much better now, though. I'm really excited to be here.
That is so cool.
Embarrassing.
That is so cool. Yeah.
That is cool.
That's a real Dayton answer.
That is a Dayton. Man, I'm tired, man.
Right. I'm tired.
I'm tired. Like, you know how hard I had to work to get here next to you, son?
I know.
Right? That is a Dayton answer all day, man.
All my life I had to fight.
Like, dude, you don't know how long it took me to get here. And now I'm here, I'm tired, man.
So I also saw you a picture with Michelle Obama all by herself, and there was a bunch of other women there as well. What do you find most inspiring about Michelle Obama, if you mind me asking?
So Michelle Obama is my favorite. Her book Becoming, if you haven't read it, I highly suggest that you do read it. It was a page turner for me because meeting her and other Black women like her in the White House and just going through that book, it made me feel like, okay, well, if she did it, I could do it, right? Like, I may not go to Harvard Law, but I ended up at Georgetown Law, so
right.
you know, it's up
Man,
there.
Yeah,
But,
it is.
But I would not have even applied, but for hearing her story and really seeing myself in her. And so I think she's really cool, really down to earth. Again, what you see is what you get, and she's very much a girl from the South Side, Chicago.
Word.
And I'll leave it at that.
I love her to death. So you talk about your Georgetown University of Law Center. What about the Women's Campaign School of Yale?
Yeah, so I went to campaign school at Yale, and that was quite an experience because it prepared me to run for Congress. It was there that I was able to meet and learn more about the process, but also get some mentors and some guidance who I called during the many ups and downs of the campaign of what do I do now, or people I've met along the way who've ran before me, who I was able to lean on and ask questions like, how did this happen in your campaign? Or how do I raise money? I'm from West Dayton. I don't have any millionaires in my family. Right. So how am I supposed to raise this money? So it was, it's all about the network. And I think there's a saying, your network is your net worth. And the older I get, the truer that becomes.
Yeah. Like, for instance, I mean, I saw people say before, you know, I can't get any support. I can't get any type of support. But truly, I believe that God is going to weed and seed out the people out there that are not there to help and put people in place to help you. I mean, I have friends that I've known forever that wouldn't help me if I needed them. And I've met people like Smed that we feel like we brothers, and he can call on me the same way that I call on him. So I definitely understand that, like, your net worth is your network, and that's a bar, Smed. Get a shirt made. I got a chance to watch one of your lively speeches on TED Talk, which is my favorite thing. It's kind of like Sports Center for Nerds, right? And I love TED Talk. So you talk about two sides to a failure. Can you give us a little bit of that?
Yeah. So again, a life lesson. The older I get, is really redefining failure. I think if you would have asked me in my 20s, like, what's my greatest fear, I would have said failing. And that is no longer my answer. My answer is stagnation, right? It's not growing. It's being still, complacency, being content. And so there are two sides to failure. One side is failing and staying in it, right? And the other side is failing and learning from it. And so when I raise money and people point to like, oh, you raised millions of dollars. And I'm like, yeah, I was on the phone for 10 hours a day asking people to chip in 500, 220, calling certain family members like, can you give me $5? Do you know how many times I was told no?
Right.
Wow.
Like, do you know how many times you have to be told no in 10 hours to raise $1,000
Right.
a day?
Yeah.
And so it's the growing, it's the learning from the failure and seeing failure differently as like a hurdle, as a step in the process. And so it's all about trusting that process and wading through what you see as failure and other people may see as a win. And so it's how you look at it.
Right.
That's great.
Right. Yeah. One thing that I always talk about is in the science laboratory, there's no such thing as a failure. It's just collection of data for you to be able to, adjust whatever it is that you're doing. And we talk about Kroger's closing down. We had Maha Selassie, we was talking about Kroger's closing down, and we got ready to talk about like it was a bad thing, but really what it did was jumpstart the opportunity for us to build something for ourselves. And anytime something is taken away from you, that's something that frees up your hands to pick up something bigger and better. And so just to piggyback and add to your point, Desiree, like no matter what we go through, although it may seem challenging right now, it's only made to make you stronger. Go and regroup and then come back with more force. And then I think that you should be able to do better the next time, and if it's really important to you, you keep trying until you knock it down, or the Most High gonna give you something just as good or better when you out there seeking your highest positive purpose, man. Yep. For sure. That's
right. Life is not full of participation trophies. You gotta go get it.
Yeah, all day.
Like my grandma said, there's no roadblocks on the righteous path. So speaking of my grandmother and her great words of wisdom, you have a very lively person that is your community leader as well. He was a guest of the show, Pastor Pete. So can you talk about how instrumental he was in helping you reach certain parts of the community that big up here, it's kind of hard to shine light everywhere, but can you speak about how instrumental he was?
Pastor Pete.
Yeah, I think that, so like I said, I grew up in the church. I grew up at Shiloh Baptist Church on Fairbanks. And when I went to college in Cincinnati, found a church, New Prospect. Same thing when I went to intern and work in DC. A church, it's always been about coming back to my core, which is my faith for me. And so when I graduated law school and decided to come back home to pursue a legal career, which ended up running, but it was finding the church again. And so one of my friends, shout out to Carson Bird, who's from Dayton. Met him in DC. Yeah. And he was like, you got to go to this church, McKinley. You got to go to McKinley. And so I went to McKinley and I was like, wow, I feel like I'm really connecting with this pastor and the words that he's giving. And he's very authentic. And for me, that's really big. I want to make sure the person in the pulpit who is ministering to me is authentic. And I think you get that with Pastor Pete. What you see is what you get. What you see on camera is what you get off camera. And I'll say it again, behind the camera, off camera matters a lot more than on camera.
Yeah.
So off camera, I noticed that you do some extracurricular activities such as help your cousin Yellow Pain make music. So let's talk about his viral song that you helped him write.
Desiree.
Listen, I'm gonna have to hire you. No. All right.
Write my name down for sure. I got you.
She did. Yeah.
So I had this vision of a schoolhouse rock song that was hip hop, that would really reach people, because every time I went out, you know, people would show up for me or they would support me because they knew me, because we grew up together. We were at Westwood together. Like it was me, but they didn't understand the role of Congress. They didn't even understand the guy who's in there, who's been in like most of our lives. While the city and our community has continued to, like, you know, not get the federal resources we deserve. So a lot of people confuse it with city council. We have a city commission. We don't even have a city council, you know, and so just so many different things where I was like, we need to re-educate the people about government, because everything we do is political. When we walk outside and we take a breath of air, somebody's deciding the quality of the air you breathe in your neighborhood. When you boil your rice or your beans or your greens or your collards, the water quality, somebody's deciding what is in your water that you're drinking. Versus the water that's in West Dayton versus the water that's in, I don't know, you know, Centerville, Miamisburg, Xenia. You know, that's a decision. The textbooks that I talked about that are 30 years old, that's a decision. The quality of the groceries you get, that's a decision. Where the grocery stores are located, that's a decision. Everything that we do is a decision. So when people say like, oh, I don't do politics, I'm like, but politics does you, because I'm in conversations every week about what we're going to do for you or not for you.
That's a bar,
right?
man.
That is
And
a bar.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
You don't do
Yeah,
politics,
I have
politics
bars
don't do
for days.
you. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
She said she got bars for days.
I have bars for days. Put me in, coach. So I was like, I need somebody who can do this. And I asked my cousin Yellow Pain, and he was like, I don't know about, and I said, I'll teach you everything. We'll write it together. And so it took months and months of writing the song, trying it out, taking things out of the song, adding things in. I really wanted to make sure that Meek Mill part was in there, because, you know, so many people paid attention to that. Yes. And so just the things that we care about, I was like, let's add that in. Let's make it relevant. And
Right.
so, and when we finished like one of the final recordings, if you hear like one part, he says like, it was like a curse word in there. And I was like, pull the Jay-Z move where you just, So it was really fun, right? Because I'm not a producer. I just had this vision for that thing, for that one song. And when we finished it, I said, it's either going to be a hit and like people in our community are going to love it. And be clear, that song was written for the people of, you know, Montgomery and Greene County, like Dayton. Like that was for us. And I was like, either it's going to be a hit and people are going to love it, or it's going to be a huge flop. And when I heard it, I was like, I think it's going to be a hit. I didn't know it was going to be that big of a hit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, literally life altering for Yellow Pain. I mean, I saw it on Charlamagne the Guy, and I clicked on it. I was like, I already follow this person. And I was like, wait a minute, he from here? Like, it was, to me, it was super dope to see, like, because people have this notion that you have to be shoot 'em up, bang, bang in order to be, you know, relevant in music. To me, I like the message that is sent with him going viral on educating. Because me and Smith talk about music back in the day. You would have, you know, like rappers, like conscious rappers, making the crowd go crazy off them literally talking about positive stuff. Like, what was one of the ones that we were talking about the other day? Like, the dude was talking about how he went to college. Or
Run DMC.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
DMC, in the place to be. I go to St. John University.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you for that, and thank you for having like the foresight on that, because a lot of people just don't think that that's even relevant. They be like, nah, it'll be corny. And to me, it was super dope.
Nah, that was an amazing rap, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you. But we also like manifested some of that too, right? So, you know, when we finished, I was like, who do you want to see it? He was like, he said, I want Meek Mill to see it. I said, Meek Mill is going to see this. Who else do you want to see it?
Right.
You want to be on a Breakfast Club? We're going to the Breakfast Club. Like, we
Yeah.
were manifesting, hyping it up and then just released it to the world and let it be. And so, make sure you manifest your dreams because they will come true.
Desiree, I'm so glad that you came there because can you walk me through a day with Desiree? Oh, I am.
Wait, that's a bar, man. That's a
Still
bar.
got it, man. A day with Desiree. Like, so how do you prepare your mornings? When you get up, what do you do first?
I'm going to tell you when I'm on my routine.
Yeah.
Which I have to restart every week, right? Because sometimes we fall short.
Sure, absolutely.
For sure.
But if I'm having a good day, I'll wake up in the morning. I'll get on my Peloton, and then I will meditate, and I'll say a little prayer. I'll shower, and then I start work.
Yeah.
I try to take a me break in the middle of the day. So that could be a walk. That could be, taking a drive. It could be doing something downtime. And then I do something else, back to productivity. And then I take another break. So that could be going to the gym, talking to my girlfriends, hanging out, or whatever. I'm a big proponent of healthy breaks. Like, take healthy breaks throughout the day.
I need that.
Yeah.
Meditate, do something that makes you feel productive, and do something that makes you feel good.
So when you meditate, because I try to meditate too, and I've been trying to meditate for probably about 10 years.
I try
right?
to meditate. I fall asleep every time.
But the reason why I say try is because other people say I practice meditation, and I think that it's kind of like all the same thing. But when you meditate, do you meditate on a subject, or do you just try to just clear your mind and just think about nothing at all?
So if you practice meditation, so there are two kinds. So in the morning, it's more so, well, I guess it depends on the day I'm having. Sometimes it's mindfulness, where it is, I use Amazon Alexa to it's like a meditation to start your day. And so 1 minute is breathing, 1 minute is thinking about what will make you feel productive today. 1 minute of gratitude, 1 minute of, something else. And then it's like a 5-minute thing, and it's guided.
Yeah.
At night, I will meditate to turn my brain off because I'm a night owl and I'm trying to get better about going to sleep early. But if you're a night owl and you're like me, then at night your brain is like,
Yes.
Really.
I use Headspace, which is an app. And I try different breathing exercises and really just mindfulness to nothing, no sound, just breathing in and out. And that just helps me in my day. But when I start my day, I try to visualize because I get excited about that. So I had to stop visualizing the life I want at night before I went to sleep, because then I would think about it all night.
Right.
And I try to do that in the beginning of the day.
Wow.
Man, I am so glad that you dropped that game on us, because sometimes, like I tell my kids this same type of stuff, all the things that you're saying that you do, especially my thing that I say is vision, act, next you attract. You visualize, you act on these visions with full faith that they're going to manifest, and then they attract into your life. The things that you want, they want you too. The money that you want, it needs to be spent. It's got to go somewhere. It would love to go with you. But you have to act on these things that you are visualizing, man. So, but it sounds like the same things that I am thinking and that I'm saying and that I'm also practicing. I see someone else who is a goal getter doing these same things. So that kind of gives you validation, and this is validation for you too, that you're on the right track.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times when you're doing something by yourself and nobody else around you is doing it, when you have those days that things may not materialize as fast as you want them to, you're like, damn, is this really working? But then you say, oh, hold on, Smith said he do that. Peanut doing that.
Yeah.
Oprah's doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Bet. I think that this is a formula that I can stick with, and I know that right around the corner is what I'm looking for. So
a good book for that
stick with it.
A good book for that also is The Secret. That's one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
Oh, The Secret is cool. I love that, Peanut.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So, but
I read that. Keep that on my bookshelf
for
at
sure.
home.
So you're such an innovative thinker. When did you start the Innovation Ohio?
So Innovation Ohio, which is the organization I run, has been in existence for over 10 years. And after the election, I received a phone call from the hiring committee asking me to apply. I thought about it. I prayed about it, and ultimately decided to go for it. And I'm really excited to be a part of an awesome organization where I get to continue to do what I care about, which is advocate for my community, advocate for Ohioans, making sure that we're addressing the school textbook crisis, right? And so now you have crazy people on the right trying to take out like Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech from textbooks. Right. They're trying to take out, certain things. I have to push for and raise awareness about that so we know what's going on, because it's a lot. And so I get to spread the word. And it's a great joy and privilege. So
also with that, because like a lot of times, for instance, in the common world where we're going to work with other people that are like across the aisle, for instance, right? They will stop at one point and they'll just keep moving the goalposts over and over and over again. So, and a lot of times they'll just be, saying things they saw on the news, right? So it'll be either you with this news site or this news site. I saw you on Fox News, and I thought it was very important to see you on Fox News because, to me, I think it's important to reach across the aisle and to talk to a demographic that's not really, like an echo chamber. Why do you think it's important also for you to speak with people across the aisle?
Yeah, because when I am talking about better schools, clean water, access to opportunity, and a good paying job, I'm not just saying for one group of people. I'm not just saying for certain people who agree with me. It's for everybody, because that makes our community stronger. And I actually think some of the crazy social media stuff, what you find is you have more in common with these people than you think. I can go into rural parts of Ohio. I can go in parts of rural Kentucky and Indiana, and I have common ground with these same communities and the same people, because at the end of it all, everybody wants their kids to do well. Everybody wants to pay their bills on time and have money to pay their bills and have some left over to enjoy a good life.
Right.
And that's what it's all about, period.
Period. Okay. So the Buildback Agenda, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So President Biden campaigned on the Build Back Better agenda, which would offer paid family leave. So we have so many women and people who have children giving birth, and they go back to work 2 weeks later and they're still trying to heal.
Right.
The stitches, there's just so much that goes in, but if they don't go back to work, they may not be able to afford their apartment or their mortgage or their car note. So it's fixing that. It's fixing our roads. If you have to say a little prayer every time you drive over the bridge in Cincinnati to go to the airport and you pray that bridge doesn't collapse, it's about repairing things like that. When you travel the world and you see other countries, their roads and their technology and their infrastructure, it is A1. And our country is behind. And so we have to invest in that. And it's also creating jobs. And I really want a train. Like, imagine if we could take a train from Cincinnati to Cleveland and get there in like 30 minutes or an hour.
Amazing.
Or you don't have to drive. Or you can take the train from Dayton to Chicago in 2 hours. Or you have more connectivity. Just like the internet provides a lot of connectivity, you create more jobs and more opportunity and more communication. So we want to make sure we can catch up and bring our country up to speed. So some of those things will be helpful. Free community college was in that plan. So you don't have to pay to go to Sinclair. You can just go and get an education, and being able to afford it is not a conversation. Right. It's about expanding opportunity for everyday people.
Well, it's another thing that I saw that you did was very important. I remember learning this in school. It was called gerrymandering, right? It's where they literally mark off. I mean, it could be a whole state, and they'll mark it off to make it benefit one party or the other. You were part of the equal districts. Can you give a little bit more insight on why that's important when it comes to voting?
Yeah, so every 10 years we fill out the census, right? And what that does, it tells the government how many people are in a community. And that's how they allocate our tax dollars back to us. And so if you say, well, we only have 10 people over there, well, why would we rush to get some money for a grocery store if only 10 people live there? Well, in reality, if there are 100 people, but only 10 people filled out the form, then the other 90 people get screwed because we get a reduced benefit. So what they also do with the census, on top of companies that use that census data to determine where job placement will go, where they will create buildings and opportunity, they also use that to draw lines to see how many people need to be represented, right? Yeah. And so what the Republicans have done in Ohio, and it's every 10 years, so they will control things for a decade based on these lines. They use like math, and they hire statisticians and computers, and they draw the line so they can split like the Black community in half and mix it in with like a community that has conservative values or different values. They'll take it all the way out to Preble County, and then they'll give you a representative. And so no matter how many people show up or how many people want certain things, that person who represents them doesn't have to listen to them because the other 90% that they drew in agrees with this person, or they have very different issues. What people need in, Preble County differs at times from what people need in Montgomery County. What people need in Xenia may differ from what people need in Trotwood. Right. And so it's very important that we have lines that keep communities whole. So that way, when you say you need change or you want something, you're not ignored, because right now they just ignore us.
Right. So here on the Legendary People podcast, we have a thing called the butterfly effect. It's either where something I did during something that you've done during the course of my research, or something you said during the interview that I found that was truly profound and amazing. I just want to start off with just saying, like, we are so in awe of your trajectory of where you started at. To be just, a sister from JT to now being, seriously, to be in the White House working on multiple campaigns for others, and also yourself. What cannot also be left out is the fact that you reached back. You didn't get to a certain status and say, you know what, I'm already better than everybody else. You know what I mean? And then you ran away. No, you still have your ties to the same organization that helped you get to where you are. But also, you mentioned how inspired you are by Michelle Obama. I have a little 7-year-old daughter, right? My daughter probably won't look at Michelle Obama the same because she'll have you in place of that. So what you are doing is setting for my daughter to feel like she could become this. Smed's daughter interviewed you. She's going to feel like that. His other daughter is a cheerleading coach. Head cheerleader over at Dunbar. All these young little Black and brown girls are following your footsteps. I don't want to say your story is truly amazing. You are a first ballot Hall of Famer in Ohio history. We ain't saying Dayton to make it inclusive, but we're so proud of you, Desiree. We're so proud of you. I want to let you know that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Definitely major. And then I think, kind of like to echo what Peanut is saying, the fact that this is kind of like a high risk thing for you to kind of do. Mm-hmm. You coming on our show, you don't know. But the thing about it is you trust us, and you know that you done put in that work where we ain't gonna let you down. You know what I mean? And I think that just goes to show just the great things that's coming your way, for real. Because you are a political figure. Mm-hmm. You got all of these major aspirations, and at the same time you hold on, let me go do an interview with my daughter for her high school project. Every time I call you, you just, all right, bro, I got you. And then you come and jump on the show with us, and that gives us even more credibility and validates us as to what we trying to do. So, man, same thing Peanut said, you major. You very, very major, man. And I expect you to do all the things that you set out to do. Honestly. And just when you open up about how you start your day, all the steps that you take, your humble beginnings, how other people got trust funds and working on Capitol Hill, but you doing this to pay your rent. Those are the things that people connect with, and they align themselves to. And that's when you become a representative of the people by really telling people not only the issues that you stand for, but where you came from and why your mindset is the same as theirs and you want the same thing that they want because we are all interdependent. You see, now this is where I'm voting. I'm voting for her because she truly represents me.
Yes.
And your story, black, white, black, brown, whoever they are, man, woman, you're going to align with these people because everybody can understand where you're coming from, bro. We trying to meditate and visualize where we can be, and then we working through these things in order to make it manifest. So, Desiree, you are truly a legend, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you in all ways. And Peanut, go ahead and go back to you, but that's my take, though.
So I want to manifest it right now. You're going to be the first African American to represent the Southwest Ohio. I'm putting that in the air right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So, but to just keep it going, I mean, like the Love Fest is here for you no matter what. Whenever you want to come back on the platform, you always can. The Zoom window is always open for you, and the door is open for you too if you ever want to come in for a legendary handshake or two. But yeah, we definitely want to say thank you. Can you please drop some of your social medias and stuff like that so people can get in contact with you?
Yes. Well, first I want to say thank you so much for having me. And like I said, when I was at the White House and on Capitol Hill, anybody from Dayton who reached out for a White House tour, they got it. And so I'm always going to look out for my people and my community. As the great saying goes, everybody eats me. So that's what we're working toward. My Twitter handle is @Tims Desiree. It's my last name, Tims Desiree, Desiree. And then I'm on other social media networks like Facebook and Instagram at Desiree Tims, my name. So looking forward to connecting with more of you online. Absolutely. On the internet.
Yes, no doubt.
Absolutely.
No doubt, you guys, before we get up out of here, man, please, everybody make sure that you like and subscribe, ring the bell notifications, man, comment, tell us something that you would want Desiree to get past when she gets to Congress, man. You know what I'm saying? Drop some comments in our comment section. And
spam it.
We'll, yeah, do whatever it is that you need to do. But shout out to our sponsors, which is Sheik's. They got the best breakfast in the city.
Absolutely.
Agnes All Natural Grill. Go there for lunch. If you ever get injured, go straight to the hospital. Then call attorney Michael Wright, 937-222-7477. Kiera Wine, when it's time to unwind. And go to the shoparea.com. Go there first. If they don't got it, then go somewhere else. But we're pretty sure they do. It's the baby Amazon. And the shoparea.com, tshirtkings247.com. And Camera Kings, go for your mouth, and Dash Resources. Mm-hmm. You guys, man, we appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you subscribe. And tonight, and the rest of the week on the Legendary People podcast, we have Will Knockout coming tonight.
Okay.
We got Polo coming tomorrow at 1:00 on Thursday.
Yeah. We got Mr. 937.
We got Bruce KYD.
Yep.
We got Bruce coming through, and then on Friday we got Ready Baby. So man, we jam packed, man. Every day we got something major, and then DJ Jelly coming next Wednesday, man. Straight out the ATL, DJ Jelly. And so man, we working on a lot of interviews for the following weeks, man. We got some more heavy hitters coming through. So you guys make sure that y'all keep rocking with us. Peanut, give me something, and then Desiree, we want you to take us out with some words of wisdom, and we will be out of here. So Peanut, it's on you, bro.
So every Sunday, 8:00 p.m., I'll be live at the T-Shirt Kings illustrious studio, tshirtkings247.com, where I'll be doing sales stocks not dope, where I'm giving out easy strategies on to make money on the market. It'll be crypto or stock market. You got to tune in to find out. You can get my book for free on Amazon. Just put in Dash Resource and it should pop up, or just go to dashresource.com and I'll get you connected.
Desiree, take us up out of here.
Yeah, no matter what you do or what you care about or what you want, you have to hone your craft. I think a lot of people underestimate that. do whatever it takes to hone your very own craft to make it work for you. And it'll all work out in the end.
All right, you guys, man. We love everybody. We'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. We got Will Knockout coming on.
Legendary
All right,
People
peace,
Podcast.
peace.
Legendary people, legendary stories.
Legendary.